championship bout happens at 184 pounds. And the red corner, the number 3 seed.
So on to the 184-pound classification. As Brooker out to the smoke and lights here at his home mat. Facing off against Caleb Hopkins of Campbell.
They met earlier in the duel. Hopkins was able to get a first period pin over Brooker. That was pretty early in the season. Brooker's come a long way since then. Learned a lot. He's no longer that true freshman. He's pretty much got a full season under his belt right now. So we'll see what kind of adjustments he's made.
Handshakes exchanged. Tim Lazar, Mike Cawley, the officials. Coming down the stretch here.
Brooker in deep, chest wrap by Hopkins.
Mountaineers already have this in the bag from a team standpoint. Now just individuals up for grabs.
Stalemate called. Quick takedown for Hopkins. He's going to start his work on top, immediately putting the leg in. Brooker's going to duck his head under that leg and start trying to scoot his hips away. Another stalemate call there.
It's always fun when you get these two teams in an individual championship. We thought that it may be super close between these two teams once it got to this point. App able to open up that lead, but still exciting, still engaging.
Comes up to his feet, breaks the count there. Brooker's trying to come inside. 50 seconds of riding time now for Hopkins. Just got a kind of a double thigh pry right there, looking for forward pressure. Drops back down on the hips a little bit. Brooker basically bases out to kind of avoid any kind of cradle crossface type situation that Hopkins is looking for.
1 minute remains in the first period.
Hopkins has over a minute now, minute 20 of riding time. Looking for that cradle. Brooker grabs the leg. Hopkins immediately sits to the corner, now looking for an inside cradle. Brooker ducks his head out, and he drops to go out of bounds. Hopkins was pulling out of bounds there. Everybody's wanting a stall call on that one.
Travis, if you're these two wrestlers in this spot with the team championship already not in doubt, do you approach this any differently than you would if it was extremely tight between these two teams?
No, because in the wrestler's mind, the individual championship and the qualification at nationals is the prize. You know, the team title for either one of the teams, that's kind of the icing on the cake. That's I did my part in the team for us to get to this position. But, you know, coming into the tournament, even in this position, the ultimate goal for each of these guys is that individual national title or individual conference title with the qualifications for nationals. That's what's the most important. That was what was most important for both of these guys when the day started at 10 o'clock in the quarterfinals. It's still the same now. So that hasn't changed. The most important thing is still there for both of them. Starting the second period on our feet. Brooker's putting pressure on. Hopkins switches to a rushing. Now Hopkins kind of turned Brooker to the outside, starts driving in and pushing forward. Brooker's keeping good head position there on the inside. Hopkins breaks the rushing, goes back to the center, takes a shot, gets to the leg. Hopkins takes that shot. He's kind of wanting to create that scramble position here. Trying to build up a little bit. Brooker's heavy anvil hips on top. Only one qualifying spot at this weight, so only the champion goes. Neither one of these guys is a lock for a wild card spot. Brooker is probably pretty doubtful that he would be able to get one. Hopkins would be kind of on the fringe. He also got Jaquan Anderson, who finished third, that be in the running for a potential consideration for a wild card, depending on how everything shakes out the rest of the country. Hopkins goes into that rushing again. Starts driving forward. Brooker buries his head in that trap position. Pulling down hard on Hopkins' head. Hopkins kind of steps out, resets. 20 seconds to go. Brooker dives in on a shot. He's got that right ankle folded under, which puts him in a good spot. He needs to keep elevating that right ankle. Start trying to work his right arm around the waist of Hopkins. Now he comes up through the back, and you're going to run out of time. So going into the third period, Hopkins is going to have choice here. He's going to go down. He's got 2:16 of riding time built up. So, you know, it's not locked for a point, but it's not going to take too much for him to get that too. He just needs to get an escape here in the first minute and 15 seconds of the period. Brooker putting that heavy forward pressure now. Spiral ride, trying to break him down flat, break those hips down. Now he's into a claw. Reaches under to the far wrist, looking for a 2-on-1. He's trying to straighten that left arm of Hopkins, bring it around the back. Sitting on the ankle and an inside ride, which, you know, this is good for building up riding time and all that stuff. There's not a whole lot in the way of turns that are going to come out of this position, which is what Brooker needs. He's got to get a turn here. Stalling on Hopkins on bottom. He's kind of staying on his base. But you're looking at only a minute to go. Hopkins with a 3-0 lead. Riding time down to 1:15 now. Still, Brooker's got to have a turn. Now he switches over to the claw. Keeping that pressure on. Spiral ride now. Lots of forward pressure. Hopkins is just kind of hanging out there. He's doing enough to not get hit for stalling again. I wouldn't be surprised to see another one come here in the next 10 seconds or so, but there it is. They're stalling on Hopkins. 3-1. But he's got to have a turn. Now he's letting him up, but there's only 15 seconds left. The App fans are upset, but he never gave the escape. So there's a stalling call.
Wow, what a finish.
And they get the takedown. I mean, Hopkins just stopped wrestling the last, like, 45 seconds. Campbell does not have a challenge, so they can't challenge it, but Hopkins just stopped wrestling. Campbell can't challenge it, so they have to rely on an official review. And they don't get it. So Brooker gets the win. Hopkins literally just stopped wrestling. The last 30 seconds, gave up 2 stalling calls, and then gets taken down. So you can see Hopkins is just trying to hang on to the arm. Brooker gets away from him, gets the takedown, steps over, and yeah, it's clear. He gets the takedown before time goes up. We'll be back for the last 2 weights.